Okay, and we're recording. Awesome. So thanks again for joining me, everyone. As I mentioned a moment ago, my name is J. Lisa Swain. I'm actually the Director of Customer Experience here at Teamzy. So it's my responsibility to make sure that you know everything that you need to in order to really maximize on your time with Teamzy. And that's what I'm hoping to really achieve today. So thank you for your time. I know it's that crazy time of year, folks. Holidays are starting to fly by, kind of blur right into the first of the year, but this is really crunch time. When you're starting to consider what you're going to do for your first quarter, or, as that thought or that conversation is kind of happening internally for you, I appreciate that you've taken the time to introduce a new tool or a new strategy into your business style. And today I want to show you how to really maximize on Teamzy, because you may have heard a lot of different things. Teamzy is a really great tracking app, or it's a great place to just keep all of your contacts. And it is that and so much more. So today I want to speak to you about a little bit about how Teamzy is actually a lead generation system. A system that's going to help you not only manage the clients that you currently have, okay, so track all of what you're doing with those clients on a day-to-day, but it's also going to be a tool that helps you build your business, build your team, and build your relationships so that ultimately you can be the most successful in this business. So I want to go over quite a few things tonight, so I'm going to dive right in, okay? I'm really conscious of your time. Like I said, I know this is that time of year. So I appreciate you being here. I'm going to carve about 30 minutes or so to go through the full Teamzy system. I'm going to give you everything from setup through to daily implementation. So we're going to dive into day-to-day workflows, sort of tips and tricks, what you can do to really get the most out of the system on a day-to-day. And then the last 30 minutes, we're going to dive into any specific questions you may have. I know some of you on the call today may be super new to Teamzy. You may just be logged on to find out what Teamzy is about, take a look at the system, ask some questions. That's perfect. But if you're a user of Teamzy and you want to ask specific questions about your dynamic or your workflow or your team, hang in there because I want to dive into those too. So for your questions, there's a really great question or answer button, either top left or top right corner of your screen, depending on the browser that you're in. So go ahead and utilize that to jot down any questions you may have, and then I plan on going through all of them at the end, okay? So like I said, jot them down. I may go over it during the presentation, but it's okay. I'll dive into each question one by one at the end. So let's take a look at Teamzy. So let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen with you all now. Okay, so now you should be seeing my screen. Now, before I go any further, does everyone on the call have a free trial? That's really the best way to really get immersed in Teamzy and find out, what elements are gonna work for me, my dynamic, my day-to-day. When I work a 9 to 5, or, I've got kids that I'm dropping off from 2 to 3, is this gonna fit into my hectic schedule? That's the beauty of Teamzy, is the flexibility and the fact that it's a tool that really does help you maximize on that little bit of time that I know we all have to allocate to your business. So before I go any further, get your team on your free trial, okay? It's completely free, no credit card necessary. You can just hit the ground running. And then you can even schedule a Zoom call with yours truly. And what's cool is I can get you all on the same page. It's really important as a team to make sure, especially as you're headed into a new year, if you want to start fresh, to get everyone on the same page. So we can always schedule those Zoom calls for your entire team, and then get everyone kind of started out fresh on the same foot. So free trial, Zoom call with Jay. Check and check. Awesome. So as we dive in, setting up a new system. I know this is the cringe part, right? This is where everybody kind of whimpers a little bit. No one likes the admin work, I know. But we've made it super simple for you. We created a really, really great setup wizard that's actually going to hold your hand through the entire setup process. It's going to walk you through it so you don't miss any areas, you don't forget to contribute information somewhere. It's going to be there to help, okay? So when you log into your Teamzy, if you're brand new, like I said to begin with, you're gonna have this banner here. So this banner is actually gonna give you the option to take you to the setup wizard. So this little link will launch you straight into that setup wizard I mentioned. If you're not brand new, if you've been poking around the system, kind of taking a look at Teamzy, if that banner no longer exists on your page, go ahead and click the little wheel in the upper right-hand corner. That's gonna give you the option to select your setup wizard. Okay, so either way, it's gonna reroute us to the same page. So Teamzy's setup wizard is super simple. We're not going to try and overwhelm you. We know that this is going to be the portion that everybody has a tendency to, it's the make or break portion. So setup is going to include setting up your income goal, because like I said at the beginning of this, Teamzy is so much more than just a tracking app. It's going to actually allow you to set a 12-month income goal for yourself and then actually create milestones so that you can achieve that, because that's the only way to achieve your goals. So as we're standing at that point in the year where everybody's considering resolutions and goals and what they're going to do next, Teamzy can really help with that, especially if you're not someone who's ever written goals before. So setting your income goal, step 1. 2, we're going to create a powerful why, because it's important. Anytime you know you set your eyes on a prize, or you know that you've set a goal for yourself, life is going to get in the way. Challenges are going to come up. So setting a powerful why is going to be really important. Some of you are familiar with that concept, but if you're not, we'll go ahead and dive into that a little further. So step 3 is going to be to import your contacts. Okay, this is going to be the meat of this process. This is going to be when we bring in all of your different lists and we get everyone consolidated down into a workable space. Okay, so let's get started. Jumping into the setup wizard. You'll notice that we've placed tutorial videos strategically on each page, so you don't feel like you're alone, so that again, it gives you little bites at a time so that you can get through it. Okay, so let's launch the setup wizard. First step is to set up your income goal. Now, Teamzy doesn't make any income goal promises, okay? But we are giving you a really, really incredible tool that will help you achieve your goals if you remain consistent, okay? So I'm gonna read you our little blurb. Setting an income goal will prompt Teamzy to suggest daily activities we consider appropriate for your goal based on our experience of coaching thousands of business people. Okay, so you should know that Eric Johnson, our founder and CEO, actually has a background in business coaching. We both, myself included, worked for one of the largest business coaching firms in North America. And for the last 5 to 10 years, we have learned some of the most incredible principles. And that's what we built into the core and the foundation of Teamzy. Okay, so as you're setting up your income goal, no, that's not just a number. You're telling the system that I want to feasibly achieve this goal, and the system's going to crunch those numbers for you. So let's say that I want my income goal to be 100,000. Okay, I can set my income goal and continue. Fantastic. The system has now, like I said, crunched my numbers for me. So now it's let me know, okay, that in order to achieve that $100,000 goal for the 12 months, I need to complete a certain number of productive activities. So for me, that breaks down to 2,899 points of contact, okay, throughout the year. Sometimes that number can be super overwhelming at first, but know that that's just the first layer. We're gonna go even further. The system's now gonna break it down for you into those bite-sized chunks. Now, I've heard this phrase often, I'm sure you've heard it before, but how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time, my friends. Not to say that any of you wanna be eating an elephant, but if you had to do it, you'd do it a bite at a time. So let's take the first bite, shall we? So the breakdown. Teamzy is now broken down for me by prospect, customers, and consultants, the number of connections that I need to complete in order to remain consistent with my activity goal and my income goal. So that breaks down on a yearly, monthly, weekly, and daily basis for each goal category. So you'll see that it's set my goals for 6 connections with my prospects, 4 connections to my customers, and then 3 connections to my consultants. So out are the days of you sitting down in front of the computer thinking, how many people should I connect with today? Who should I call? What should I do? Okay, now is the day of a systemized approach to your business. So let's say that you are content with your goals. You think that, okay, yeah, I can connect with 6 of my prospects, I can connect with 4 of my customers, and 3 of my consultants, no problem. Now, there are some additional goals on top of that. We know there are some additional elements to this business for you guys, like daily invites and adding new people to your database or your collective sphere. So with that in mind, if you're already kind of cranking through your business and you're someone that, hey, I send 10 invites easy every day, then you know what? Manually override this. Get ambitious, up that number. All that's going to do is drive you closer to your goal, if not helping you achieve it or surpassing it. So consider your goals. These are going to be recommended, but you can in fact manually override them if you need to, okay? So let's say I'm accepting my recommended goals. The next step in the process is going to be finding my why. So I started talking about this briefly a moment ago. Life is difficult. There are challenges, and the truth is that network marketing is one of those business models that will prove to be challenging right out of the gate. The statistics right now are something like 1 out of every 2 network marketers will quit the business in the first 6 months. And that's not because those people were failures any more so than we are. It's just because they didn't have a resounding why. They didn't have a reason or anything that compelled them beyond that challenging point. You have to, when you're presented with a difficult moment in your life, it's important to have that armor or something that's going to help you get through it, put your head down and fight through. And that's what your why is. And what we've done and why we think it's so important in Teamzy is we built it right into your dashboard. So it's a daily reminder for you because we know that those challenges are daily, my friends. So know that Teamzy has built in little tools like that that are great for motivation, great to keep you on track. And the best place to start is with your why. So here's another one of those really great tutorial videos. You can choose to watch it if you'd like. It just gives you a little more information about creating your why statement. Now, we've actually created a why statement exercise for you because we know not everyone has done this before. So when you're setting up your why statement for the first time, take it a bite at a time. Okay, you've got why did you become a consultant? Okay, you've got what do you hope to accomplish? Why is this important to you? The answers to each of these prompts are actually going to help you create the full why statement. Now you'll notice that we've got a sample in here. All you have to do is overwrite that. Okay, so go through the full exercise. Take a deep breath. Take a step back and decide, why am I really doing this? Why am I for the next 12 months gonna really hustle? Is this for my family? Is this to give my kids a better shot? Is this for a bigger house? Do I need to put myself through school? Whatever your why is, make that very, very clear. Make it in your own words because this will be a note to you from you, okay? So that's your why statement. Get that written and you can hit continue. So far we have set your income goal. So now we have goals for the next 12 months, okay? The system has broken down those goals so that it's in easy bite-sized chunks. We know exactly what to do on a day-to-day basis. And then it's allowed me to create my why so that when I encounter any challenging situations, I can push through it. And next, I'm ready to bring in my people. I'm now ready to create my list, okay? And I'm ready to actually get started with these folks on day 1. So, bringing in lists. This is the part that everyone takes that deep breath, right? It's only because we all manage contacts in so many different places. You're connecting with people through multiple different avenues. Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, your lists in Pulse, all of these different avenues for connecting with people, but ultimately all this has done is spread you really, really thin, okay? When you're having to manage a business like that, it creates gaps, and these gaps are perfect for your customers, your clients, your consultants, who are your friends, your family, your loved ones, these people to fall through the cracks. And that's the worst case scenario. So if you're looking for a tool that's gonna help you tighten up the seams, right, bring everyone into one place that you can feasibly log in, find out who I need to connect with, what was the last point of communication, what are we talking about, what is this person interested in, how can I help them? If you can gauge that from one glance in one system, something tells me a power hour is going to be a blast for you going forward. So, importing your contacts. Importing your contacts from Pulse is super simple. We've got a video for that. So go ahead and take a look at the video. I do have one tip here. When you're importing from Pulse, we did notice recently that it actually exports all of your personally sponsored consultants, but it's going to include people that are not necessarily only sponsored by you. So it may include your upline also. So I recommend that when you pull your Pulse report, that you go ahead and sort your personally sponsored column and then delete anybody that's not you. That way you can bring in only your people into Teamzy. So that's my one tip there. If you need any help getting any of your contacts from Pulse, from Facebook, from Instagram, anything like that, I'm your gal, okay? At the end of the presentation, I'm gonna go ahead and share all of my contact information so you guys can reach out to me directly. So, pulling your contacts from Pulse, super simple. Go ahead and take a look at that video. Next up, we've got Facebook. Okay, Facebook is awesome. It's definitely a really great place for connecting with folks, as you all know. Now, you've all been connecting with people for years, I'm sure, so the lists are very large. Facebook is going to allow you to pull everyone from your Facebook, okay? So there may be a certain element of cleanup to this, especially if you want to be doing this, especially if you're taking that systemized approach to your lists. So what I'm telling you is I'm giving you all the opportunity to scrub a list for the last time. Okay, so no more scrubbing lists from Instagram and from Facebook and where did I leave off with this person and what was my Facebook message. You're going to be able to do all of that in one place, okay? So when you bring in your Facebook contacts, you're going to be able to pull everyone that you connect with on Facebook. You will not be able to pull in your like pages and things like that, but we can help you with that kind of manually entering as you go along. Okay, so that's your Facebook contacts. Now, if you have contact lists anywhere else, you can definitely bring them into Teamzy. You just need to get it into a file format that Teamzy will accept. So you can watch this video also that just takes you through a general import. You'll notice that we've got the different file formats here listed. So basically, if it's a file that's coming out of Facebook, then it'll import to Teamzy. If it's a file that's coming out of Pulse and it's in a CSV format, then it will import into Teamzy. And if it's in a COO format, it will also import to Teamzy. Again, if any of this is going over your head, if any of this seems a little more challenging than you want to take on your own, you can reach out to me. I will be here to help, okay? So when you're importing your contacts, know that you can bring in multiple lists so you don't have to put them all on one list. Our import is really, really great. It's going to give you an option to actually tag your entire import. So if I'm bringing everyone in from Facebook, then I can tag these are all of my Facebook and so on. So I'll go ahead and actually take you through that setup. So let's say that I've selected my import file. Teamzy is going to run a screen, and it's going to let me know that, okay, this is the appropriate file format, you can continue. It's constantly holding your hand, like I mentioned. Now, if I wanted to tag that entire import as coming from Facebook, I can go ahead and select advanced import options here. If I scroll down to tags, I can say Facebook, okay? From here, now every single person that came in on that import is going to be tagged with Facebook, so I know the origins of that contact. That's going to be really, really helpful for you as you start to get familiar and comfortable with Teamzy. It's important to know, okay, how did I connect with this person first without having to do that scatter, search Insta, search Facebook, okay? So rely on your tags. That's a really great way to use them to start. And then you can also quickly do a full rank, okay? Teamzy is going to have you prioritize everyone in your database. So if you know that everyone on this list is a 4-star or a 3-star, these are my rock star consultants or what have you, then you can feel free to go ahead and deem them all one rank. But if not, then you will have the option to sort or rank everyone as we go on in the next steps. And I'll show you that here. So before I go any further, as you're importing multiple lists, you should know that Teamzy does have a duplicate filter, okay? It does, yes, which is awesome, I know. So Teamzy is a really, really great duplicate filter that's going to actually screen for unique email addresses. So this is a day and age where people have tons of email addresses. So if you do happen to connect with someone on Facebook and they use one email and then you connect with them on LinkedIn and they use it different, there may be a certain element of manual cleanup that you have to do in Teamzy. But just think, it's a one-time deal because once you scrub this list down, you can hit the ground running, okay? So Teamzy does have a duplicate finder, so don't worry about that as you import multiple lists. Okay, so let's say I'm ready. The system is going to do automatic mapping. So what that means for you is it's going to put the addresses with the addresses, phone numbers, first and last names, so on. Okay, so you know all of your information is being handled appropriately. If you have a file that's coming from somewhere funky or if Teamzy is having trouble with it, then it may ask for your help or say, where do you want me to put this information? And then it would just basically hold your hand through that process too. So that's going to be your mapping. Once you hit continue, the system is going to automatically apply that duplicate filter, remove anyone who's already been added, and leave only the unique records. okay? Once you've completed your import process, your next step is gonna be to prioritize your clients, okay? Is gonna be to prioritize everyone. So I know you're bringing in prospects, you're bringing in consultants, you're bringing in, you're bringing in customers. So with that, you're gonna be able to rank or sort them, or rank them on our star ranking scale, whether that be 5-star through 1-star for each person. And that's actually gonna tell the system something. So we know that taking a prioritized approach to your clients allows you to prioritize your time and your resources. So when we're at Teamzy all about the power hour bosses, this is really, really what sets us apart. So if you go through your Teamzy and you take a look at every single person in your database and you say, you know what, these are my 5-star rock stars, these are my 2-stars, my 3-star potentials, you know, I'm working on this person, that's gonna tell the system how often you wanna communicate with them. And this is what I mean. So for example, your 5-stars or your rock stars, the people that are absolutely the hottest on your list, you wanna be connecting with them in the greatest frequency, these people are gonna come up for automatic follow-up every 30 days, okay? So yes, I just said to you that every single person that you add to your Teamzy database is actually gonna get added to an automatic follow-up regimen. So you don't even have to worry about it. The system manages all of that for you in the back end. So make sure that you take that prioritized look at your database. Now I know some of you are bringing in thousands of contacts at a time. Bite-sized chunks, okay? Break that into pieces if you have to. If you're taking 100 at a time, 200 at a time, going through the list, I'm gonna show you how simple it is to rank here, okay? So that's basically the breakdown. We've got a video here that breaks down the ranking process if you need a little more help. So once you've got everyone added to your system, Teamzy is going to redirect you to your ranking page, okay? This is gonna give you your full list. This is everyone that you've currently imported, and it's currently selected rank mode. So this is gonna be the most efficient way possible to go through and quickly rank everyone in my list. So I can take a quick look and literally say, okay, these are my 2-stars, here's my 1-star, my 5-stars, and you can just quickly go through the entire list in that way. Now, like I said a moment ago, I know some of you are bringing in huge lists, so it's a little daunting, to say the least, to say that you're gonna rank or qualify all of those people in one sitting. Know that Teamzy is going to default everyone to a 3-star ranking. So that means you're gonna be prompted to follow up with them every 90 days. So no one is just gonna go off into no man's land. You're gonna get prompted to connect with them. So your best bet to streamline your time and your process is to go through and rank them. Tell the system, this person means this to me. I want to communicate with them this often. This is how I can serve them best, okay? This is gonna be your first message to the system, okay? I wanna communicate with this person so often, so I'm making them a 3-star or a 2-star or a 5-star. So the first level of kind of sorting out your database is gonna be that ranking process. Next level will be your types, okay? So you'll notice that we have rank mode. You can deselect rank mode or reselect it at any time. Okay, so let's say I deselect that and I want to select type mode. We also have different types built right into the system for you. So we know that everyone falls into those 3 categories: prospects, customers, or consultants, okay? So we all sort of see the world that way. So you may have some 5-star prospects, some 3-star prospects, and what's great is Teamzy is going to allow you to sort everyone out. But once you've gone through and you've done all of your ranking, if you want to, you can do it in 2 separate steps. Or I can deselect both of these. I can work on just Amanda. I can say she's a 4-star and she's a customer of mine. This way I've done all of the qualifying or all of the sorting that I need to for Amanda, and I can move on to the next person, okay? So that's how your ranking and your types work. Now I wanna make one other mention about your types. Now when you're working with your consultants, you'll notice that an additional type line will drop in where you've got personally sponsored, downline, and fellow team, okay? This allows you to get that much more specific so that you know, okay, if you're doing a campaign to really connect with all of your consultants, but you wanna do just your personally sponsored for now, and then you wanna do your downline and so on, this allows you to kind of take that systemized, focused approach to who you connect with and when, okay? So this is gonna allow you to kind of create different lists that you can sort and filter by. So that's how you do your typing and your ranking. Make sure I'm on time, I am, okay. And I mentioned at the beginning of all of this, we also have something called tags. You can utilize the advanced option when you're importing to assign tags, or you can assign tags as you go along. I really recommend that you utilize your tags. It's a great way to identify all of your customers, the different products they may be interested in, or with your consultants, it's a great way to tag them as far as what portion of the process they're in, how engaged they are. If you want an additional meter, or if you sort of gauge or sort of quantify your customers or your consultants differently, use the tags for that. For example, if I happen to know that Amanda is, okay, she's a customer who's interested in Lash Boost, I can literally put that in here as a tag for her. And what's awesome is that now in the future, when I come back to Amanda's profile, I'll be able to see, okay, she's interested in Lash Boost. Now I can see she is a customer, she has purchased this product before, we connected on Facebook. It starts to jog my memory. It gives me it gives me that thread to pull on. Now I know where to start. How can I help Amanda? Okay? That's what Teamzy is. It's gonna be an efficient tool to help you, to give you an opportunity to help people faster, okay? To make you a true power hour boss. Okay, so we talked about ranking and typing. We talked about tagging. Now with the tags, you'll have an option once you create a tag to actually sort or filter by that tag, which is awesome. So as I start to add folks to my Lash Boost tag, I can actually go over to this side, select Lash Boost, and it will list everyone that's currently tagged under Lash Boost. I can now quickly call through that list, or I can do, you know, a power hour of Facebook messages. I can connect by text. I can send out an email if I've got a really great email made up about Lash Boost or something along those lines. This allows you to be that much more focused and specific with how you spend your time, who you connect with, and when. Okay? So rely on your tags, your typing, and your ranks for sort of qualifying and identifying people in your database. Now, your ranks and your types. When we started all of this, I told you you're actually telling the system something when you rank someone a 5-star as opposed to a 2-star. Now, let's take a look at your dashboard. Your dashboard in Teamzy is going to act as almost your virtual accountability partner. Okay, I know that many of you are on teams and you're working, you may have sideline sisters or people that kind of help you stay motivated and on track. That's awesome, keep that up. But Teamzy is gonna be the first layer for you, okay? It's going to be the one that's kind of kicking you in the bum when it's 8 a.m. on a Friday and you don't wanna make the connections, okay? This is the reminder of why you're doing this, okay? Remember, this is the tool that helps you get started and keep moving. So, with your dashboard, you're gonna have a view of your daily activities. You'll be able to log in and see how many prospects do I need to connect with. The way you read your dashboard is this is how many you have left to connect with. And this little bar will actually fill in as you make progress, okay? So it's awesome. You'll be able to log in at any given time, whether it be from your mobile device or from your desktop, and you'll be able to see how close or how far you are to meeting your goals, which is so awesome, especially when some of you are working other jobs or, you know, managing a household full of kids. It can be difficult to do both. So lean on some of the elements of this tool to really help you be a little more efficient. So that's how you read your daily activities portion of your dashboard. And then you've got your dailies. So this is actually a checklist sort of to you, from you. This area of your dashboard, these activities for your prospects, customers, and consultants are for everyone else. It's what you do. It's what you do to generate and build your business. Now, your dailies are almost what you're doing, right? So me posting to social media, connecting with my social communities, going on and engaging with my customers and my clients. Did I do some of my personal development? Did I pick up a really great book today? Or did I watch a motivational clip? Did I share a really great article? What did I do to advance my personal development today? And you can actually check these off as you go along. Did I do my skincare, my AM skincare, my PM skincare? Okay, this is again a checklist to you, from you. So that's how you read your dailies. Now, your Who's Up Next feature. Sort of the holy grail of Teamzy, okay? This is going to be that automated follow-up system that I mentioned, okay? This is that once you've got everything set up in Teamzy, this is gonna be the portion of your system that hums, okay? You'll be able to log in and kill your power hour every single day. And the reason for that is because you've taken that systemized approach to your business. okay? You have prioritized everyone, and you decided, I'm gonna spend this much of my time and my resources on my A+, on my 5-star people, and I'm going to spend this much time on my 3 stars so that I can now actually build that person up, turn them into a loyal advocate so that they can bring in more people like them, okay? So rely on your Who's Up Next feature. Your Who's Up Next tool is going to be broken down by your prospects, your customers, and your consultants. Again, that's sort of the world you're living in, okay? So your prospects, it's going to bring up your 5 stars every 30 days, your 4 stars every 60 days, your 3 stars every 90, your 2 stars every 120 days, and your 1 stars will not appear on this list. So it kind of allows you a little bit of a holding tank. If you've got someone that, you know, maybe the last few connections weren't so comfortable, or you're not quite sure of where your chemistry lies with them yet, and you're starting to build on that, you do have a holding area where you won't be prompted to do any of the connections yet. So know that that's how your Who's Up Next page works, because then it's gonna give you your prospects in priority, your 5 stars first, 4 stars, and so on and so on, okay? It will always let you know when the last point of activity was. Okay, so let's say I'm working on Christy. I can always select here, okay, I can choose to jump right in and make my connection with Christy, or I can go in and check out, okay, have I ever connected with Christy before? What details do I have about Christy? Oh, I've got her email address, so I can send her some information by email, or you know what, oh, I do have her Facebook. She and I connect on Facebook. So let me send her a Facebook message really quickly. So I could select here that I'm gonna send a Facebook message, but I'm not quite sure what to say. Darn. Teamzy solved for that too, yay! So we have included some incredible scripts for you, dialogues that you can kind of make your own. If you're dealing with a little bit of writer's block, you're not quite sure what to say on a call, or you know, even if you're meeting with someone face-to-face, check out our scripts area. We've actually broken your scripts down for you by, by filter options, so depending on where you're connecting with them. So I said I wanted to connect with Christy on Facebook. So I can filter my scripts by Facebook scripts. And it'll bring up for me really quickly, okay, I see that I've got a quick script here. Hi, it would say, Christy, just stopping by to say hello, how are you? I hope your day is awesome. Now, when I'm trying to crank through some of these, when I want to get through 20, 30, 40 connections a day, these are quick and easy. This is a simple copy and paste. So I'm gonna grab this. Okay, I would simply head over to my Facebook. Let's say I'm sending Eric Johnson a message. I could literally just paste the message in here, say, hi, Eric. Just wanted to stop by, say hello, how are you? Just checking in. And now I can head over to Teamzy. I can do the same thing here, literally what I wrote, okay? It's a Facebook message, and I would log that connection. Let's say I've logged that connection for Christy. What that tells the system is now that I've completed one of my activities, and it's also resorted my list, told me who's up next in priority, and I can just keep cranking it out. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, Power Hour is literally completing itself. Okay, you're taking one name at a time. You're not feeling overwhelmed. It doesn't matter about the thousands of people you may have connected with in the last year or so. Everybody's gonna get their time. Okay, you're gonna connect with everyone in your database, and no one's gonna fall through the cracks. And that in and of itself should be a breath of fresh air for you. Okay, so let's say that I've gotten through my 5 prospects for the day. Now I can click my customers list, and I know exactly who to connect with next of my customers. If you're at the setup process and you realize, wait, I don't have any customers, like I've only got 1 customer in here, then that means you need to take another look at that type process and dictate, okay, here are my customers, or here are my other consultants, and so on and so forth. Okay? So that's how you're going to utilize your customer section. Your consultants is going to be the same thing. Again, if you get this message, it's because you haven't done that typing process yet. You'll notice there's one more section here for follow-up. So let's say that I'm connected with Amy. I connected with Amy today by phone. We had a great conversation, spoke about 3-way call, okay? So let's say I chatted with her about a 3-way call. This is an invite, okay? But I told her that I'm gonna follow up tomorrow with some more information. What's great is Teamzy is going to allow you to do all of that almost in one step. So I can say what we spoke about. Okay, I can jot down the actual parameters of our conversation. I can say that that was a phone call. I can stipulate that this was an invite, and then you'll see the system gives me another type. So now not only can I stipulate what I'm inviting this person to, so that the next time I log into her account, I can see where I left off and what I want to check in about, or what I want to follow up about, okay? So I am inviting her to a 3-way call, and I want to set a follow-up. I told her I would follow up in a couple of days with an email information, with everything that she'll need to know about what we'll cover in the 3-way call. Okay, so let's say I'm going to set that follow-up and I'm going to log that connection. So what have I done? In one fell swoop, I have logged my connection with my prospect. I have set a follow-up for Amy that says that I'm following up with her in 2 days. And I have also logged that I have completed an invite. So one of my 3 invites have also been logged. So now at any given time, I can take a step back, take a look at my dashboard. Okay, I've got few more of those to do, a few more of those, I can hit the ground running. Or I can put a pin in this, go pick up the kids from school, come back, pick up where I left off, and nothing, no one falls through the cracks. So use your Who's Up Next page, because that's really gonna keep you on track, okay? So that's gonna be how simple it is to quickly and easily follow up with folks and rely on the follow-up system in Teamzy to make sure no one falls through the cracks. So that's how you use your Who's Up Next section. I went over earlier during the import process how often people come up on that Who's Up Next list. It's really super simple to access if you ever forget. If you're like, you know, I've got this 5-star person that hasn't come up, but I'm pretty sure I should be connecting with them. Then go ahead and select this little gray question mark, and it'll give you a breakdown of who falls into what categories. Kind of when you can expect a certain ranking to come back up, that sort of thing. The different breakdowns as you get familiar, okay? So that's basically going to be your Who's Up Next section. If you scroll down your dashboard even further, you've got additional graphs and different reports that kind of give you an idea of where you stand in respect to your overall goal. So your activities, this little activity snapshot gives you an idea on a weekly basis, the percentage of activities that you completed throughout that week. So if you had a killer Monday, but then a not so killer Wednesday, this is going to give you that, that full graph view, which is really a great coaching tool as you're working with other consultants, because you can have them quickly snapshot their dashboard and you can talk about, okay, I see you do really well the beginning half of the week, or you know, maybe it's time to kick it into gear around Wednesday or what have you. It's a great coaching tool. It's a really great reminder for yourself as you're using Teamzy. So know that you've got additional reporting and kind of quantifiable tools so that you can see where you stand with regard to your overall goals. Okay, so that's ultimately going to be your dashboard, sort of in a nutshell. Now, some other areas of the system I want to highlight for you. You've got a search field here. So yes, you may be bringing in thousands of people, but if you log in for the day and you know who you need to connect with, let's say you have an email from a client and you want to pull that person up, you can always search for a person in the system, okay? So I can search for a client, the system will automatically bring up their full record for me. I can do multiple things from this view. I can log a connection like I did from the dashboard. So if I connected with Eric, I could quickly pop in here, I could log our connection here, or I could even send an email straight from Teamzy. Yes, I'm gonna say that again. You can send emails straight from Teamzy. If you're a Gmail user, you can integrate your Gmail with Teamzy, which will allow you to quickly send emails directly from this profile. So if I wanted to send an email, it will allow me to connect my Gmail, so it'll walk you through that process, and then it's just gonna open up a quick email template that you'd be used to seeing anywhere else. You type up your email and you can hit send, and what's great is not only have you logged that you've connected with that person by email, but you've literally got the email in there. So if you ever need to reference it or anything, it's right there at your fingertips. Okay? So yes, you can in fact integrate with email and send emails through Teamzy. Anytime you send an email through Teamzy, it's going to look like it's coming from your Gmail account. So anytime your client or your fellow consultant or what have you, if they hit reply, it'll go in your inbox. So you'll know exactly where to get all of your reply emails. Okay? So that's going to be how sending emails in the system works. Now, we can log connections from this view. I can access my scripts if I need to. So if I need to get back to a script, if I need to send an email, I can select email script, and it's going to bring up an email script for me. Okay? Again, there are tons in there. Take a look at them. If they don't work for you, they're editable, which is awesome. You can make them your own, and you can even create your own. If you've got really great dialogues that work for you with your current customers or with consultants that you've worked with in the past, go ahead and load them up in here so that you can quickly copy and paste and use them in the future. Okay, that's going to be what's really beneficial for you with your scripts. Awesome. Creating your new script button. Creating a new script is as simple as selecting new script here. It's going to give you a little dialog box. You can give it a title. You can select what tag you want it to fall under. So if I want to find this in my phone call scripts or in my LinkedIn scripts, you can go ahead and stipulate that here. Lots of customization for you, okay? So that's how you create and save your scripts. Now, other than logging a connection from the overall profile, I can also alter ranking. So if I want to move Eric up that scale, I can do so here. Does an automatic save, so I don't need to save anything on that page. If I need to change his type, I can head over to member type. I can make him a consultant, and I can say that he's personally sponsored. Again, doing an automatic save for you. Now let's say as you're doing the setup, if you're trying to combine records, if you need to add an email address from here into, you're gonna need to do some saving, okay? So let's say I want to alter Eric's email, his phone number. Okay, I can make that change. As soon as I make a change in a field and I click anywhere else, it's gonna give me my success message, okay? So if you don't see it, just make sure you click around and it'll give you that little message. So anytime you need to save contact-based data, anything here, make sure you get a success message, otherwise it's gonna go ahead and do an automatic save for you. So that's ultimately gonna be the contact information. You've got everything from phone number, address, city, state, so all of your social links, all of your personal information, birthdays, spouses, children, any pieces of information that bring you closer, help you build on your chemistry, things that allow you to kind of establish common ground with your customers and other consultants. This is gonna be a really great place to keep all of that in one place so you can actually use the information, okay? So that's gonna be your contact record. Now, as you start to log your connections, okay, let's say that I left him a voicemail about new records. Okay, I can go ahead and log that. And what's great is the system is keeping an active log for me of every single point of connection with that person. So at any given point, if they reach out to you and you want to quickly, okay, let me see where I left off with them. You can quickly search their name, check their history, and it'll give you, step-by-step what you've been doing with them over the last few months or the last few weeks or what have you, okay? So rely on your history, rely on your details, okay? The details are going to give you all of your contact information. Now, in addition to your history and your contact notes, you're also going to have a general notes section. I like to sort of have this be like a note about the client or about the consultant. So if I happen to know that they're going through a particular challenge right now, something that I want to be conscious of next time that I communicate with them, I can put a note in here that they just experienced a loss, or they're celebrating the birth of a new baby, or anything that is an icebreaker, or something that helps me get closer to my customers or build my relationships so I can serve them better. That's what you're building here in your relationship records. Okay, so your notes section is going to be quick notes to you, from you. Your activity feed is going to be an actual activity log of all of the connections you've made. And then your details is going to give you an overview of all of the information or data you've collected on that customer, consultant, or prospect. Okay, so we talked about typing, ranking, editing information, and your dashboard. Now, your team page. We know that everyone kind of looks at their list differently, decides to approach the business a little bit differently. So if you're someone that wants to look at a full list of your prospects, you can do that. You can log into your team page, and it's gonna let you select all of your prospects, or all of your customers, or all of your consultants. And it will give you a view of who currently is comprised in those types based on, by clicking on any of those filters there on the left. Okay, you can also do the same with upcoming follow-ups. I can also do the same with any of my tags that I have created. Your tags, this list can go on, I want to say infinitely, or I may be making a promise on behalf of my engineers. But either way, let's try it. So you can, my own Teamzy has I think I've got something like 60 tags right now. So feel free to tag like crazy, but know that these are something that are going to make you more efficient. So don't just add a tag unless you plan on using it. But ultimately, if you've added it, it's something that you can always remove if you need to. So if I don't want to use this tag anymore for Amy, I can always just click on it and remove and then add it to another tag. Okay? So that's how you're going to use your tags. That's basically going to be your team page. Okay? The one other area of the team page I do want to mention is as you're going along, you may want to import more lists. So you may get through your setup process, bring in all your Facebook contacts, bring in your Pulse people, and then eventually you want to bring in your LinkedIn contacts or what have you. You can always import additional lists. Just head over to your team page, click on import here, and then you can select import contacts. And that's going to take you right back to that import process we went through earlier. Okay. Now, last but not least, I want to show you your business page. The beginning of all of this, we started with an income goal, okay? So it's important to be tracking fiscally right alongside the connections that you're making with all of your relationships and building and deepening those relationships. It's important to know how close or how far you are to meeting your income goal. So as you get your earning statements, a really great way to track your income in Teamzy is to select your business tab, and then head over to your income. You can select add, the little add symbol there, and then it will allow you to add your commissions by date range. So you can actually put in a certain range if you wanted to backdate, the last few months. You could do so if you wanted, but if not, you can just get in the habit of doing, monthly increments, 3-month increments, whatever your choice is. But it'll allow you to track for your income also, which is awesome. You'll have different reports, different graphs here that'll display for you the number of customers to consultants. You've got your growth pattern here on a monthly basis. You've also got your activity pattern on a monthly basis. And if you scroll down far enough, you'll actually have an itemized activity record. So if you want a full activity report of what you've done for the last 30 days for every single person in your database, you can pull that report. If, let's say, I wanted to see only the invites I sent, only the sales, or only the ads and imports, I can do that also. Okay? So lean on your reporting because that'll let you see kind of where you stand, what you've completed, if you need to make sure you connected with someone. These are great ways to kind of reference connections or activities you've already completed. Okay? So that's going to be your business section in a nutshell. Again, there are some other areas that you're going to kind of dive into as you get a little more familiar with the system. I'm giving you just a little bit here, and you can always reach out to me as we go along. Okay? So before I eat up any more of our time, I want to go ahead and open up the Q&A and see if we can't get into any of these specific questions you guys may have. So let's see here. Okay, first question is coming from Anonymous. On consultant type, what is fellow team? I assume those that are on my inline with us that go to the same upline but are not ones that fall under us at all. Okay, so if I were to pull up a record for us here. Oops. Okay, so if we're talking consultant types here, you've got personally sponsored, downline, and fellow team. Okay. Personally sponsored, that's going to be, that's super self-explanatory. Downline. Okay, so as you bring in other consultants, okay, as you build out your team of individuals who are in this for the business opportunity, who are looking to also build their own teams and bring in other consultants, those would be individuals that I would qualify as downline. Okay, so these are going to be other consultants that are going to be building their businesses as well, and the people that fall under them. Okay, now, you don't have to keep everyone in your database, but those are good relationships to foster and build up because these are always going to be people that are going to be great for networking, for getting together and kind of talking about what's working well for them and just kind of building on the relationships, okay? Because that's really the key to this business. So that would be how I describe your downline. Now, fellow team, okay, that's going to be people on your team, right? So other consultants that you brought in, not the consultants that they brought in. So if I brought in Sally, she would be a part of my fellow team. Now, a consultant that Sally brought in would be a part of my downline. Hopefully that makes sense. I hope it does. If not, you can always connect with me specifically and we can dive into it a little further. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, Michelle Thompson asked, I uploaded all of my contacts from Pulse and Facebook. They all went into one category. They all show up under consultants, customers, etc. Is there a way to upload the contacts and have them go into the right categories? Yes. Okay. So just because you didn't import, it may have come in and maybe you sorted to the wrong category or went to the wrong area. That's okay. You can always undo it and re-import. So I'm actually going to take you through that process. So let's see here. So if we were to, once you've imported, we actually keep a full import history for you. So Michelle, what I'd recommend is that you select import, go to import history, and it's actually going to give you an itemized list of every import that you brought into the system. So go ahead and select the import that you brought in and hit delete. Okay, it's going to delete that. You can do that for all of the lists you brought in so far, unless you've already started doing some of the other process, the ranking or any of that, you don't want to undo that process. Then I would recommend the manual go through and select who's a consultant, who's a customer. If not, if you have a full list of all of your consultants and you're bringing them in at once, I recommend just wipe the import and re-import, okay? When you're re-importing, you're going to go to Team. We're going to select Import, Import Contacts. Whoops, sorry about that. We're going to go Import Contacts. We're going to select Choose File. I'm going to select my file for import. And now before I go any further, once it's giving me that green check mark, I want to select Advanced Import Options, okay? This is going to be where you can select the member type. You can select that they're all customers or they're all consultants or they're all prospects, or you can select any of those tags and those ranks. Okay, so that's going to be your best bet when you're importing your customers. If you wanted to put them all in one category at once, then utilize that advanced import option. Okay, all right, next question comes from Christy. When I did my customers, it did my entire organization's PCs. So do I just delete? Yes and no. Okay, so if you've already brought them in and you've started to rank them and you've added notes and connecting with them, if there's a lot of work that you're going to lose, then I wouldn't recommend completely doing a wipe. But if you're just in the setup process, then yes. So we'll just go through the process exactly like we did here, where we're actually going to, oops. Okay, we'll go to Team. You're going to wipe the import that you brought in first. So you'll go to Import History. You'll find the import and you'll select Delete Import. Because I don't have one in here, it's not listed, but you'll select Delete Import. Now, the next time that you import, what I recommend, because this is what's happening when you guys are exporting from Pulse, is that you open up the file in Excel and then you find the column that's titled, I think it's personally sponsored name. And then just go ahead and sort that by your name. So if you're not sure how to do that, hang in there. I'm going to put up my contact information. We can get on a Zoom call and I'll walk you through that process. But ultimately, you can sort that by your name, remove anyone else, and it'll let you bring in just your people. Okay? So that's going to be how you remove anyone that you don't want from your personally sponsored list. Okay, so I hope that answered that question. We've got another question from an anonymous viewer. Will a recording of this webinar be available after the training? I totally Absolutely, yes. The recording will be available. We post it to our YouTube channel, and then we actually send it out by email to anyone who was registered. So you can share that with your team, anyone who wasn't able to join us, anyone who's just kind of interested, that you want to share the system with, feel free, okay? So we'll get that out to you in about 24 hours after this training. Okay, awesome. So let's do, okay. Jennifer, can the last activity date be imported with contacts? No. Our system does not allow for for a logged activity to be imported. Tongue twister. So what you'll need to do, if you do have one group, if you've got your 5 stars that are just, you've been working with them pretty consistently, and you've got your own process until now. Maybe it's, on paper or an Excel spreadsheet or whatever. I would say take the time and log that initial connection. Go in the system and log a connection or make notes for yourself so you know where you left off with that customer. But the short answer is that you cannot bring in logged activity, okay? You're gonna be starting fresh in Teamzy. Okay, so let's see here. On the follow-up notes, can there be an option to follow up on mini facials sample products? We send those out and I constantly forget who I gave them to, and so I forgot to follow up. That is okay. Really, really great question. So what's awesome about Teamzy is that we're just coming out of our beta test version of our beta test phase for Rodan Fields. So we got some awesome feedback, but we're still really refining the program and kind of building it and tailoring it for you all as Rodan Fields consultants. So feedback like this is so vital. We really appreciate it. And it's something that, yes, I will definitely pass along to our development team. It's something that we're constantly considering new ways to make it better for you. So I have heard that before, that the mini facial packs are something that you guys send out really often. So I'm hoping to get that added to your types so that you can add that as your invite type, or so that you can log that as a connection type, okay, as a mini facial or something that you sent or invited them to. Okay, so keep an eye out for that. We will be adding some new types as we go along. Okay, so let's see here. Can you send a message from Teamzy to Facebook? Okay, so no, Teamzy does not automatically send Facebook messages for you. We've got a little disclaimer for you on your Facebook, on your Teamzy page here. Oops, I don't have any contacts imported. That's what it's telling me. So we do not, it does not allow you to send messages automatically through Facebook. For now, what we'll do is a quick copy and paste. We are working on a really cool feature that will do a mail merge. So anybody's record that you're looking at, it will automatically auto-populate their name. So it'll say, Dear Sally, Dear Jim, or Hey Sally, just stopping by to say hello. Right now, you have to manually override the name and then copy and paste that into Facebook, okay? But it's still way easier than trying to scrub lists and figure out who to contact, okay? So, all right. Heather says, how do I get rid of the duplicates who are customers but also downloaded from Facebook? I have duplicates of all of my customers because they are also on Pulse and Facebook. Okay, so what happened there is that either the email addresses didn't match, or maybe it was missing in your Pulse, or it was missing in Facebook, or what have you. So those duplicates are gonna have to manually be removed. So what I would recommend that you do, the best way to do that is to head over to your team page. What Teamzy will do if you're in your all category, here, I'm gonna quickly import contacts. Okay, so once you've imported your contacts and you've got all of your, and you've got everyone in your team page, you can select all, and what the system will do is it's actually gonna, it's gonna bring together anybody with the same name, first and last name. So it's not gonna merge them together for you, but it'll, if you had two Amandas in here, it'll say Amanda, Amanda. It'll say Eric Johnson, Eric Johnson, okay? So that you can go through and you can now pull over the information into one record and then delete the one that's remaining. That's the easiest way to do it right now. Or on the front end, before you import into Teamzy, you can always take a hard look at your Pulse report and remove anybody that you're bringing in from your Facebook list. Those are your two choices there for now, okay? So that'll be getting rid of duplicates. Let's see, on the consultant type, what is fellow team? I assume that those are, I think I answered that one. Okay, how do you add a single prospect after the lists have been imported? Awesome question. So, because this is a lead generation business, you're gonna be constantly meeting new people, connecting with new folks, kind of exposing new people to the products and services that you offer. So, as you add new people, you connect with new people on Facebook, add them to your Teamzy. To do that, it's super simple. Just select Add Contact here. It's gonna give you your type option right here, so you can select, stipulate whether they're a prospect, customer, consultant, okay? I can put in first, last name, email address, phone number, and add them to the system. Super quick and easy, and you can move on to the next person. Once they've been added, I will actually add someone. Okay. I add the information I have. If I don't have a phone number, if I don't have an email address, you can always hit save and add that in the future, okay? So once you've added them, then you'll have the option to rank. Okay, so you set the type before you hit add, and then you can restipulate what rank they are as you go along. Okay, so that's how you can add a single prospect at a time. How do you backdate a sale for the month? Okay, so let's say I want to track a sale for Ed. You have an option to track a sale this way. Gives you different, it gives you a couple of different options for what type of sale. We are adding additional types here. Anything that you think should make the list, go ahead and ping me, okay? So let's say, so you can track your sale here. This is literally just gonna tell the system that I just sold Ed an enrollment kit, okay? You're gonna notice it's gonna track based on today's date, okay? So the system is currently gonna allow you to track those types of sales in real time. So if I sold someone a product today, but let's say that I want to track that commission, or I want to track that I completed that for this person. You can always go in here. Oops. You can always come in here and actually add a note for yourself. And this is how I'm recommending that most people do it at this point, especially if you're, for the person who asked, what about things that we've completed with them in the past, or logged activities in the past. You can open up your notes section and say, okay, I sold, because you get that last product sold column when you export from Pulse. So you can always come in here and say sold Lash Boost. Obviously, you guys can tell Lash Boost is totally on my mind. Sold Lash Boost, and you can put the date in there. And then, like I said, this will be a note that you can always quickly pull up, and that'll be a little record for you going forward. But as you're getting used to the system and you're getting kind of familiar with it, and it's becoming a part of your daily dynamic, you're going to get in the habit of tracking your sales in real time. We do have a mobile site of this app, so you can absolutely go and log in when you're on the road, or if you're in the car, or dropping the kids off, or what have you, and it'll let you access all of this, track everything in real time. Okay, so that would be my recommendation for tracking your sales for the month. Now, tracking the commissions for those sales, like I mentioned earlier, your best bet is going to be to go over to your business tab, select income, and then stipulate the commission, and then the date range that you earned that commission. Okay, that'll be how you track the actual dollars earned. Now, what about downline customers? PCs who are not direct to me or in my downline, should they be ranked or deleted altogether? Okay, so I would answer this with a question in asking, do you plan on connecting or building the relationships with those people? Okay, with the individuals who are now a part of your personally sponsored consultants downline, okay? More than likely the answer to that question is no, because you're gonna wanna connect with people that you are looking to help, okay? These individuals are being helped by a consultant that's in your downline already, okay? So I recommend that you keep other consultants, anyone that you can help, customer or prospect, okay? But if you think that they're a downline customer of one of your consultants who's already following up with them, then you can probably let them handle it, okay? So let's see, can we add other habits to the dailies? You cannot customize that right now. If you have something that you think would be a particularly beneficial daily for lots of RF consultants, feel free to ping me. Like I said, send us the feedback. We've got a feedback link here for you in your page, so you can always send us any messages that way. You can always reach out for help by clicking on your help button. And then, like I said, at the end of the Q&A, I will put up my contact info. So you can even just shoot me a text and just say, hey Jay, add these to the dailies, or you should tell the guys to add these to the dailies, and it'll become a part of the conversation. Okay, so let's see here. Let's say I loaded my Facebook contacts, I've worked my follow-ups, added notes, and say 30 days later, I just happened to meet a large group of people in a couple of days. I know I can upload again from Facebook, but will I lose all of the rankings, notes, etc.? No. So what's great is that duplicate filter is actually going to catch everyone that it has already imported, especially because the information is going to be so similar. It's not searching for any connections that you've made since. It's just going to cross-reference the email address, first and last name. So it will see that you've already imported that person, and it will not it's not going to duplicate them. So it'll just add any of the brand new records, okay? So that'll be how the system handles any duplicates if you choose to re-import a file. Although I do recommend that you get in the habit of just kind of adding as you go along. But that does happen, you know? You kind of get to the point where you're just a powerhouse everywhere, and you're on Facebook meeting and greeting and just adding to your team and building like crazy. So if that's the case, then absolutely lean on that duplicate filter in Teamzy. Okay, so Debbie Granite says, I have a .com email address that is forwarded to my Gmail. Can I use it, or does it have to be a Gmail extension? I believe it has to be a Gmail extension, Debbie. Let me look into that for you, and I'll follow up with you directly, okay? That is an awesome one, thank you. Okay. Now, let's see. Does Teamzy support using an email service company to send out group emails? We do not currently have a blast email service or bulk email service. We are actively looking into that, okay? So you guys should see that solution here soon. We're working really, really hard to find the best solution for you. We are going to be a relational business no matter how you slice it. So we don't ever want to just add something in here that's going to make it, you know, a blast and go. You know, you don't really, there's no intention behind it, but we are looking for a solution or a way so that you can serve larger volumes of your customers at once. Right now, you do have the option to send emails, but it will be one at a time. Okay? Let's see here. Okay, does Teamzy support using an email service? Oh, we just had that one. Okay, awesome. Okay, so the problems, so it looks like Liz is letting us know that the problems people are describing are because Pulse does not map fields to Teamzy. Pulse's filter is broken. You have to clean the file first in Excel and delete rows. Okay, so yes, awesome. Thank you for that, Liz, for that reminder, Liz. So that speaks to that tip that I mentioned earlier. When you actually export your data from Pulse, I want you to take a look at that file, okay? The columns that you should take a hard look at would be your personally sponsored consultants. Yes, personally sponsored name. That'll be the column that I recommend you take the hardest look at. Other than that, any other fields that Teamzy has trouble mapping, honestly, it'll just ignore them, or it'll give you the option to set to ignore if there isn't a place to put it in Teamzy, but it'll kind of give you an option as you go through that. If you're unsure about the data, if you're a little bit scared it's gonna map appropriately, like I said, reach out to me and I can help, okay? Thank you for that, Liz. Let's see here. Okay. Will you be working to integrate any other email systems besides Gmail? At this point, Gmail is the most widespread and easiest to integrate for our users. We are having larger conversations about integrating other email services. You may see a bulk email option before you see other email services. But know that it's a part of the conversation. We know that it's something that you want and that you're looking for, so we'll definitely find a way to do that. Okay, let's see here. Yes, okay, so Margie wants to know if this is gonna be recorded and if we're gonna send it out. If you are registered, if you were registered for this, which is how you logged into today's webinar, then you're gonna get a follow-up email that'll have the link. If you wanna make sure you get the recording, at the end of this call, shoot me a text message and I'll make sure you're the first one that has it. Okay, awesome. Let's see. Okay, yes, so what's interesting about Apple Mail is a lot of them are linked to Outlook servers and things like that. So again, it's a larger conversation. We're not quite sure specifically what mail providers or what mail services. I'm sure if we do choose to incorporate anyone else, we'll have some sort of beta test, or we'll poll our users so that we find out which services you guys are using, and that'll be the one that we include. Okay, awesome. Okay, how do I get rid of duplicates who are customers but also downloaded from Facebook? Okay, so I think we went over this earlier, Heather. Your best bet is going to be to manually remove them. Head over to your team page, make sure you're at the all category, and that should bring the names closest together because it'll be an alphabetical order. Okay, and then from there you'll just have to clean it up. Okay, Sandra wants to know, is there an app to use on iPhones? So we do not currently have a native app, but we have an awesome mobile site, okay? So you can access it on your iPhone or your Android by just going to app.teamzy.com, okay? app.teamzy.com. That's gonna give you the mobile site version. It's gonna be mobile friendly so that you can quickly access all of your client data. You can log connections. It's gonna be really great for working on the road. Now, keep in mind, with these little tiny cell phones, there are some elements of the full site that are not there. It's just because there's no screen real estate, okay? So things like your business page, tracking your income, things like that, I'd recommend that you leave it for the desktop, setting up, bringing in your contacts, things like that. Then yeah, use your desktop, but other than that, absolutely. Check out the mobile site. Okay, let's see here. Are notes saved and date stamped? So currently the time and date stamp is not automatic. That's something that's already actually on the list for the developers. They are working on that. We're trying to find the best way to do that for you. For the time being, just go ahead and log your own time and date stamp for now, okay? Charlotte wants to know, are you able to add the individual sponsor to the consultant imported from your downline? In other words, if someone is on your level 3, does it say their sponsor is Amy Jones, etc.? It does not, and that information isn't going to come over, but that's going to be a really great use for your tags. So what I started working with another consultant on is she actually created a tag for everyone for every one of her levels. I think she went up to level 7 or 8 or something along those lines. So she created for each of her levels, and she started to tag people with those levels, because then she would know the nature of that relationship so that she could follow up either with the consultant that she's working with to grow that team or what have you, or it's a way to actually just see everyone that's comprised in that list so that you can follow up really. Okay, so I'd recommend using your tags. So you would simply mark this person consultant. You would go ahead and stipulate that they are, let's see here, personally sponsored. And then you could, in your tag, say, okay, this person is Amy Jones. Or I could say level 3, okay? And like I said, what's great is in the future, you'll be able to go ahead and pull that up and see anyone that falls under that level. Okay, so that's what I'd recommend there. So the mobile app. Yes, Teamzy has actually a mobile-friendly site that you can access from iPhone, Android devices. It's completely mobile-friendly. You would just go to app.teamzy.com, okay? All right. So Margie uses AOL, and she wants to know if she can merge from there. So I assume you mean your contacts, and yes. Why don't we connect, Margie? Send me an email or send me a text message, and I will get you all of the instructions you need for exporting from AOL, and then you'll just import to Teamzy. Okay? Okay, let's see here. If I have everything uploaded, then upload another file later to update with my new customers, consultants, Facebook contacts. Will it override the previous names or just add the new ones? Okay, we went over this one earlier, but it's a really good one to kind of emphasize. Yes, so Teamzy is going to recognize the duplicates, remove them, and import only the new or unique records. Okay. So know that if you get to the point where you've gotten a little bit behind on updating your Teamzy account or what have you, you do have the option to bring in the list again, and it'll just kind of sort out those people you've already brought in. Okay. All right. Let's see here. And my contact info, Leanne, actually I haven't repeated it yet. I'm going to put it up on the screen as soon as I get through all the questions. Okay. Okay, will there be any other special offers for those that are not currently users? Okay, so the best deal that we have right now is our annual discount. So you can save $60 if you pay for the full year in advance. We don't have any other discounts other than that. We just came out of the beta test, so we did have a founder's rate, which was available to anyone who beta tested the system for us. But other than that, the best rate for you is going to be that annual option, and then you also get that free 30 days. Okay. Alrighty, Danielle wants to know price-wise regarding special offers, heard about discounted rates from other users. Okay, so along the lines of what I just said, it's the same sort of deal when we beta test, anytime we beta test a new version, we do create a founder's rate, and we made that available to our beta testers. It was available until the 16th of December. So that is now lapsed. The best discount that you can get is going to be that annual option, which saves you that $60 when you pay for the full year in advance. Okay, and my contact info is coming soon. You hang in there, just one more minute. I so appreciate you guys hanging with me. This is awesome. Okay, let's see here. Do you access the app.teamzy.com from the App Store? No, actually, I'm sorry. You can just go ahead and launch through Safari, and you just type in app.teamzy.com, and then from there, you can actually create a shortcut on your home screen, so it'll look just like an app. You'll just tap on it, and it'll redirect you to your dashboard. Okay? Let's see. I have to leave to meet a prospect. Will you please email me all of your contact information? Absolutely, Michelle. Okay. I purchased a month but would like to do the year. Is it possible to change? Absolutely. You can just head to your settings section in the upper right-hand corner, select settings and then billing, and it'll give you your annual option. Okay, so thank you so much for hanging with me, guys. You are awesome. I'm gonna go ahead and share my contact information with you all now. Let's see here. Okay, so you should all have my contact information on the screen now. So feel free to call or text me at any point, or you can email me directly. Know that I do team calls all the time, so it's a really, really great opportunity if you want to get your whole team on a call together. We can kind of dive in, get everybody on the same page. It's important to kind of have your buy-in if you're the team leader. So if it's something that you're interested in, feel free to reach out to me. Again, call, text, or email. Let's see, I'm gonna take a quick look at the chat and just make sure that I didn't forget anybody here. Okay. Well, if there are no other questions, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's it for me for the day. I so appreciate you guys making some time to join me today. This has been awesome. I know I went over a lot, okay? But dive in, okay? Take a look, find out how it works for your team, and if you need any help along the way, know that I'm in your corner, okay? So feel free to reach out to me, call, text, or email. Always here to help. And I wish you all an amazing first of the year, okay? Resolutions, goals, however you do it, guys, make it the best. You're all capable of greatness right now, so go out there and make it. We hope that Teamzy is everything and more for you. If you need any help, reach out. Dawn, if you're still there, I'm gonna reach out to you directly and get you an answer on Snapchat and Instagram, okay? Thanks, Sandra, you're awesome. Thanks, guys. I'm Jay, Margie, Jay Lisa Swain.